So, hi friends, and welcome to another episode of Crick Vidya's IPL podcast. Today we'll be discussing RCB, and for that we are joined by Venkat, who's another Twitter cricket fan, and as usual Balaji, who is our cricket expert. So we'll start the discussion of RCB 11 and look at all their players and the likely combinations that they can look at while playing at UAE, and then come up with try to create a consensus of which is the better strategy. So as you can see, I've already put down an 11 that I think RCB can go with. And since Venkat is a huge RCB fan, so I'll request him. First, I'd like to welcome him. Hi, Venkat.
Hello, sir. Thanks for having me here.
Yeah. So we'd like
Great
to
to be here.
start with you, and maybe you can tell us the 11 that you think is the best starting 11 for RCB.
Yes, I would start with Parthiv Patel and Aaron Finch
Okay.
because Parthiv Patel makes his way as the Indian keeper. He's the only Indian keeper.
Yeah.
And Finch, obvious choice, having paid more than 5 crores in the auction, they wouldn't bench him. And one of the best openers in international setup right now in T20s. So, obvious choice in the top two. Then follows Virat Kohli.
Yeah.
And then comes Moeen Ali. Why Moeen Ali ahead of De Villiers? Because Moeen Ali is one of the best players of spin, and having the IPL in the UAE, the spinners would have the advantage, and having someone like Moeen Ali in the middle order would face. I would want him to face the most number of spinners, most balls from spinners, because he can take on any kind of spin, be it off spin, leg spin, left arm spin. He has great numbers against them, and and De Villiers at five, he's the best pace hitter overall in T20s. Like, there is no one better than him to play at the death overs. So De
Yeah.
Villiers has to bat in the last 6 or 7 overs, 2 overs to get set and 5 overs go. That should be the kind of play.
Mhm.
And then moving on, there would be Dubey, Shivam
Okay.
Dubey at six,
Mhm.
followed by Chris Morris,
Yeah.
and then will come Washington Sundar, followed
Okay.
by Umesh Yadav, Navdeep Saini,
And Yuzvendra Chahal.
and Yuzvendra Chahal.
And Umesh Yadav. Great. So that is the only plausible choice for RCB if they want to play Finch, that they'll have to go with an all Indian bowling attack, except for maybe Chris Morris. So, great. Bala, your turn.
Yeah. So I will
So,
start with Finch and Parthiv Patel,
hmm,
and one down will be Virat Kohli in my team,
yeah,
and I will use De Villiers as a finisher. I don't want him to play the number four spot because they don't exactly have a strong finisher. I know Morris is at number seven, but Morris is kind of lost his touch with the bat in the last 2 years or so. So I want that experience in the middle. I mean at the death. I know this best player should play more number of balls concept, but I don't exactly believe in that. I believe what is best for the team. So I
yeah,
will have Moeen Ali for at number four. As Venkat said, he can bash spinners with ease, and spinners will be primarily operating in the middle overs for every team. So
hmm,
he is the best way to counter those. So and at number five, I will have AB de Villiers, and at number six, I will have Shimam Dubey.
hmm,
At number seven, I have again Morris. There is no change in that. At number eight, I will have Washington Sundar. He will be my new ball bowler along with Umesh Yadav. I will use straight up 3 overs of Washington Sundar in power play along with Umesh Yadav if that goes well. So actually, he did a terrific job for Rising Pune Super Giants under Steve Smith. He actually bowled a hard length, which batsman found difficult to hit. In the last 1 year or so, he was trying to, toss it up too much in search for wickets, which is not his strong forte. I know commentators keep on saying that if you have to be a complete spinner, you have to turn the ball. But if you have speciality in containing runs like Samuel Badri did for over the years for West Indies and over all the franchise leagues. If containing runs is your forte, you should look for that. You shouldn't carry away and go for wickets. So I hope he bowls hard lengths like he did in 2017 for RPSG. So he will be at number 8. Also gives me batting depth as well.
Yeah.
And I will have Umesh Yadav and Saini at 9 and 10, and Chahal is my 11. So that is almost similar, not almost, exactly similar to Venkat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's see if Yasir has something different.
Okay. So first of all, can I? So I'm asking this question to the all three of you. Can AB de Villiers be requested to keep?
He can be, I think, requested, but he'll not agree to it. So
if he keeps, then Gurkirat Mann had a brilliant smash.
Yeah, exactly. So that is my point. If I can get ABD to keep, then I can have a different balance to the team. So
yeah.
so my instead of having both Virat Kohli and AB de Villiers at log on and log off, I will be happy with AB de Villiers wicket keeping. So can I assume? Can I go basis that in that case?
Okay, let's see. Maybe RCB will see this and they'll ask ABD to keep. So let's take a chance.
Okay, so I have gone for a bit of a left field team. So I'm going for Padikkal and Washington Sundar at top. I know both of them are left-handers, and so there is no right-left combination. But I'm going for Washington Sundar because I believe. I mean, I know it's a bit of a gamble, but I feel that at least till since Finch is not there in the first few weeks, that they can try with him as a pinch hitter in the mold of Sunil Narayan. It is a untried, untested gamble, but I would be open to doing that. The other point is that then I have Virat Kohli at 3. I definitely don't want Kohli opening because I would ideally want him in the middle to control the innings. The other thing is that I would want to separate AB de Villiers from Virat Kohli and not have. I mean, we all want to see them bat together, but just to give the team a better strength overall, have Moeen Ali at 4, AB de Villiers at 5, then have Gurkirat after that. Then there is Chris Morris, Saini, Steyn, and Chahal. So Steyn, while yes, he has been plagued by injuries, but if Steyn is not there, then I'll have Kane Richardson as a backup for Steyn. And so that would be my playing 11 broadly. Steyn, I'll intend to use more upfront, while obviously he's a all-round bowler and he can bowl anywhere. But I would like to use Steyn and Washington upfront, and then have Saini and Chris Morris and maybe part of some overs of Steyn for the rear end.
So what am I missing? Can you just check?
Did I miss someone?
No.
Padikkal, Washington Sundar, Kohli, Moeen Ali, AB de Villiers, Gurkirat, Morris, Saini.
Saini is there at 8. Steyn and
Shivam Dube. I missed Shivam Dube in the middle. Okay.
Yeah. So Shivam Dube bats for you at what level? 7.
He'll be at a floater level. Yeah, I mean, it's a fluid batting lineup.
Okay.
But you can say 7 for sake of reference.
Yeah.
So I don't want to play Parthiv Patel. I think I have a bias against him. But whatever it is, I want to try out something new for them.
Okay. So then I'll just go through my team as well. So I would like Padikkal to open and be tried off, especially because Finch is not there at the start. So I would like to start with him and give him a 2-3 match run at least to see how he can perform. And Parthiv Patel obviously is the wicketkeeper for me because ABD for me doesn't really do wicket keeping. And I have Josh Philippe also as an option, but from what we have seen, RCB tend to prefer Parthiv Patel, and they have quite a lot of faith in him. And he showed it in the last season with at least a couple of knocks, which were fast, and the power play knocks that an opener is expected to have. So I think if they have depth in batting, they can ask him to go all out and not just do a 120, 130 strike rate. And then after the openers, I have Virat Kohli and ABD at 4 for me still, even if you guys, all of you, want him to be at 5. Then Moeen Ali, because Moeen Ali, for me, did quite a good job coming at the death last time around. He was able to provide them quick runs and quick finishes. Uh, After that, Shivam Dube. Shivam Dube needs to be given a extended run if he wants. If he's included in the team, you can't really have him for 2 games and then don't trust him. So I think RCB has that problem, and they need to resolve it and decide upfront whether they want to try Shivam Dube or not. Then 7, Chris Morris. I think that is true for everyone. And Navdeep Saini and Yuzi Chahal. And then I've gone for Kane Richardson as my overseas bowler. Uh, Obviously, Umesh Yadav is did quite well for them in 2018, but he was quite opposite in 2019. So in case Umesh Yadav is able to give them the 2018 performance, that actually helps them, because then they can add Finch to their lineup. But I'll assume that Umesh Yadav will be himself as he usually is, and in that way I would not like to use him, and I like to go with Kane Richardson and not play Finch to start with. So that is my playing 11. So again, we'll start the discussion of what other combinations and what other players can they look at, especially because in the first week I think they have only 4 overseas players who would be available. So in that sense, if I ask you guys what would you start with in the first 2 matches? So I think we'll start with Venkat again.
Yes. Okay. Now Finch and Moeen Ali aren't available. With just 4 foreigners, I don't think we have to play the 4 foreigners for sure. We can play with either 3 or 2, depending on the combination. So now Padikkal gets a sure shot now. He opens with Parthiv Patel.
Yeah.
Or else I would have Kohli to open, Padikkal at 1, and Parthiv to open.
Okay.
Just to have that left-right combination.
Okay.
And then at 4, I would have Gurkirat.
So 3
at 5,
is
I would have
Padikkal for
AB de
you,
Villiers.
right?
Yes, 3 is Padikkal.
Okay.
Gurkirat at 4, de Villiers at 5, followed by Shivam Dube, Chris Morris.
Yeah. Why is this happening? Just a second. Okay. So ABD at 5. Then?
Yes. Shivam Dube, Chris Morris, Sundar, Navdeep Saini, Yuzvendra Chahal. And I would play either Dale Steyn or Umesh Yadav. But once Finch comes in, we have to swap out Steyn and get in Umesh Yadav. So instead of tinkering it later, I would give Umesh Yadav a long run. He gets to play from game 1. So he gets to that setup and no chop and change. It's just Padikkal goes out and Finch comes in, Gurkirat goes out and Ali comes in. There wouldn't be much of a change in the bowling unit. RCB have always middle with a bowling unit, and that has backfired them. So they would bowl with a constant bowling unit, and the batting alone would change for me.
Okay, got it. Bala, what would you do for the first few games?
Yeah, only Finch is not available. But Finch and Moeen Ali won't be available in my 11. So that will be a direct swap with Padikkal. So I will directly, have Padikkal and Virat Kohli at the top because when based on the schedule, I will say, because if a team has a quality off spinner, then I won't risk with two lefties right at the top. And Harbhajan or and Ashwin can contain if they have provided they have matches with the teams which have quality off spinners. But if a team like when they are playing against KKR kind of team, I don't mind having both Padikkal and Patel opening the innings because they have quality fast bowlers, so they can tear away those bowlers. So I will have Padikkal and Parthiv Patel opening the innings with Virat Kohli, and in place of Moeen Ali, I will have Gurkeerat Man Singh, who can be a good middle order accumulator. Obviously, won't be same quality of Moeen Ali, but I don't have any other choice, and I have to give a long run for Gurkeerat as well. So, if provided at least if he grabs the opportunity, then I will have no other go but to replace Shivam Dube with Gurkeerat in the longer run if Moeen Ali comes back. So that and AB de Villiers at 5 and Dube and Morris at 6-7 and that's it. Remaining all remains the same. So I will have only three foreigners in my team.
Okay. Yasir, any radical choices here?
No, so if Moeen Ali is not available, then see, I already have Gurkeerat Singh with me. So I mean, maybe I don't know how do I fit in. Who comes in that case? If
Parthiv.
Parthiv will come in, yeah. Parthiv comes in that case.
Okay. So you have, if you see as an options, either you can go for these players also. So a Pawan Deshpande or a Pawan Negi, these players would also be available. And since Moeen Ali is not playing, I think we are short one spinner. So a Pawan Negi could be an option which can be used.
Gurkeerat bowls off spin as well. So that's why I had a like for Moeen Ali. Moeen Ali is not a four over bowler nowadays. At best he can bowl 2 overs up front.
Yeah.
If you trust him with 4 overs, then that can backfire big time. So he's not that big a bowler, but yes, he is an option. So that's why I've replaced him with Gurkeerat, who can also give me that option.
Possibly, I think Shivam Dube and Moeen Ali combined can give you 4 overs if needed. Possibly.
Yes.
And also, when we take out Finch and Ali, the batting part is the main thing that takes the damage. So I think getting in Pawan Negi would make it a bit more weaker. So I would go for a better batsman over there. Bowling department is all set. That would be my constant setup for the whole tournament.
Great. So, but see, if I look at your bowling, then you are saying that your death bowlers would be Morris and Saini, right?
Yes.
Okay. That can be a decent combination. Navdeep Saini now I think has developed as quite a good bowler. So he can handle that bit.
Compared to last year, he has played international cricket, has groomed in that setup. So I think he's a way better bowler right now, matured enough, proper hit the deck bowler. So I think he'll be a great asset in the death for RCB, combined with Morris' experience.
Good. So now another question I have for you guys is a Dale Steyn versus a Kane Richardson. What should they prefer if they need to go with an overseas pacer?
Kane Richardson, in my view, because Dale Steyn and Umesh Yadav are like for replacement. So I don't want 2 new ball bowlers in my team, and I already said Washington Sundar will be my new ball bowler in any ways. So Umesh Yadav cannot be used in death, as we all know, and Steyn is not reliable in death either. So I will have Kane Richardson for his. He can bowl those cutters and he can use the height to his advantage. So if I have to choose one among them, then it will be Kane Richardson.
Any other views, or everybody agrees?
I would have Dale Steyn. My thought process is that the death bowlers will be Morris and Saini. That is fixed. So if I get in Dale Steyn and Umesh Yadav to bowl the new ball, I can get in someone like Negi along with Sahel to bowl in the middle overs.
But then
Washington
you can't
Sundar
have
also-
so many bowlers, right?
Yeah.
Saini. So if you're playing one of them, then I think the combination would not allow you to have 4 pacers, as you are saying.
Morris, Saini. Oh yes. Yes, then it should be Kane Richardson. But I don't think so. There would be any need to get an overseas pacer with this setup. So that would
only if,
mean
let's
we
say, an
remove
Umesh Yadav is not performing. A 2019 IPL Umesh Yadav was actually a negative for the team, and I would not actually want to carry him for the entire 14 games.
He did his job in the new ball. Since they Kohli used without, death bowling is not his forte. So that's the reason. If you still take his new ball stats last season, it would be decent. It would be very much decent, and that's how you should use a bowler. Dhoni slowly made Deepak Chahar as a death bowler specialist, but he started as a new bowler, and he was very hesitant to give Deepak Chahar in the death. That's how you should be with Umesh Yadav as well. Considering the fact that they have now got 2 death over specialists in Navdeep Saini and Chris Morris, there shouldn't be any fuss about Umesh Yadav because he's a force to reckon with the new ball. He can make both right-hand batsman and left-hand batsman dance to his tunes with the movement he gets at high pace. It's not easy for batsmen.
Yeah.
it's all about how he's being utilized.
Hmm.
Say you don't give him the ball at the death at all. Give him straight up 3 overs in the power play and 1 in the middle if required. And he has been terrific with the new ball, I would say. He has that pace. He has got that swing. Say when we go back to that game when he got thrashed by Dhoni in the last over, like 20 odd runs, right? In that game, if you see, he was very good with the new ball.
Yeah.
Along with Dale Steyn. So it's all about the proper utilization of Umesh Yadav, I would say. Bowl him in the power play, 3 overs straight up with Sundar, and we can compensate that with 1 over from Moeen Ali or someone like that. So I would say Umesh Yadav should get a longer run, should build that confidence in him, and always utilize him in the right way, what he's suited to.
Yeah. Okay. So now let's talk about a few other players which nobody has actually picked up in their team. So one is Isuru Udana, the Sri Lankan pace bowler or the medium pace bowler. So he was picked up in this year's auction only. So I think more of a backup to a Kane Richardson or those kind of players, right?
No,
Chris
he's a
Morris, I
backup
would say.
Chris Morris. He can tom the ball well, and if at all I need to choose one among Kane Richardson, Isuru Udana, and Dale Steyn, then I would go for Isuru Udana without any second thoughts. Because he is a terrific hitter and has the required power to clear the field, and his variations will come in handy. And moreover, he is a left armer, so it's a must in modern day requirements to have a left arm angle. So that is like for Morris because he bats at 7, and not like for Kane Richardson, but I would say for Morris.
So can he replace a Shivam Dube also in an 11?
That would be one position higher for him, I would say, because Dube bats at 6, and Dube is an Indian as well. So how can you replace an Indian?
In some of the combinations, you were actually going for 3 overseas players. So in that sense, he can actually come in as the 4th player, and Shivam Dube.
But then you can have Shivam Dube and have him. In that case, you can still retain Shivam Dube and have Isaru as your.
So then you would have. Who will you drop then?
No, then I have to drop Umesh Yadav, which I am not willing to. Umesh Yadav will be a constant in my team for all the 14 games. Thing is, Dube isn't a reliable number 6 batsman as well. But he has that reputation of thing, and Isuru Udana, if at 6 means it won't have that intimidation factor. So that will be like a long tail starting from 6. Obviously, Isuru Udana can bat, but when you look on paper, it will just weaken the side.
Yeah.
And I don't think Isuru Dana has he been regular for the Sri Lankan playing 11? I don't think so. Even for them,
Yes,
he's not.
he's a
Is he?
regular for in T20s. Yes, he's a
Okay.
regular for them in T20s.
Okay.
Just like Jordan for England, he plays regularly for Sri Lanka in only T20s.
Okay. And Mohammad Siraj. So I think RCB would finally be able to not play him.
Yeah, blessing in
Yes.
disguise.
Yeah, because he has been he has had a bad season for them. I think last year, where he gave away too many runs. So I
With
think
I think with Saini developing and having so developed so quickly, I think there'll not be any need for Siraj in the playing 11.
yeah. So Siraj would mostly be a backup player again. So another one would be a Pawan Deshpande.
Yes. When we talk about replacement for Shivam Dubey, I would say Pawan Deshpande is one person that we have to look into.
Hmm.
Terrific domestic records for that small sample size. 20 games, I think. 20 games in the domestic T20 setup. He scores at a rate of 149.47 and averages 47.33. And also a left-hand batsman. So that would add so much value for that RCB middle order. Proper scouting, I would say, proper pick in the auctions. Pawan Deshpande is someone you have to watch out for this season.
So do you
Yeah,
think he can play in the initial phase where they actually don't have a few players available?
I think if he has to get in, the only possibility is to let go Shivam Dubey. So,
Okay.
and also I don't see RCB let go Shivam Dubey in the initial stages. He has that name in that domestic setup for himself. He has got his reputation. He has already played a season for RCB. So they would always bank upon him in the initial stages. But I don't see Pawan Deshpande not getting his chance in the long run.
Hmm. So let's talk about Shivam Dubey. So I think he has been not very effective with the ball, and RCB tried him on and off in the last season, and Kohli did not have a complete kind of faith in him. So he would be needed. He gives them a good balance, gives them a couple of overs. So I think he needs to be given a long run if he needs to be effective. Otherwise, if you keep on chopping and changing, nobody really is able to perform.
Yes, at first place, Kohli never trusts anyone. That's a different thing. He just changes the, except for himself, he just changes the team if he
And
loses
ABD.
2 or 3. Yeah, ABD. Yeah, he just changes the team altogether. Batting is something that has been never Virat Kohli's forte, unlike Rohit Sharma or Dhoni. I understand Rohit Sharma and Dhoni have results going in their way and they have no need to change the winning combination. But there's a thing called consistency and giving confidence to players that is definitely lacking as far as Virat Kohli as a captain, limited overs captain is concerned. So this season, if he has to win, go all the way through, he has to show patience to the players and he should give the backing to the players, enough backing so that players don't play for the place in the team, so that they play for the team. So that's how it should be. So Virat Kohli has all the resources this season. So he should just be patient and wait for things to go in his way.
Yeah, so I think I would agree because results are not going his way. That is the main reason that he has to start changing his team. He's not able to have patience, while others have results in their favor. So in case last year also they would have had those close finishes going their way, it could have been a quite different story last year itself. So he needs results to start trusting his team and players. That is one problem that I think Kohli would have.
Yes, with proper backing and proper utilization, giving players a long run, I see this team to make it to the playoffs actually. They have got a very balanced side, very good work at the auctions. They have covered all bases. So I see them to go a long way this season.
Yeah, and Gurkirat also I think came good towards the end of the season last year. He had a match-winning innings along with
Along
Hetmeyer.
with Hetmer.
Yeah. So though he might not get a start in the initial 11, but I think he needs to be trusted and given opportunities so that he can also develop and perform for them. So another one is Philip, who I think who's a wicket keeper and can fit into the 11 if let's say a Finch is not playing, and he can replace Finch easily. So what are your views on that kind of a combination? Yasir?
So my only issue with this relatively unknown foreign players is that you can't extrapolate their performance in other leagues to Indian IPL for multiple reasons: the quality of the kind of pitches, the kind of opposition, quality of teams playing, etc. So I'm not sure. I mean, he'll be a completely I mean, from a IPL at least, he'll be a unknown entity. And all these foreign players, how they perform against spinners and all, you never really know. I'll not be very confident unless there is something that the team management closely sees during their practice matches or something of that sort. I think it's unlikely.
Venkat?
Felipe, I think there's just one possibility to get him in. Just in case if someone like Moeen Ali is injured, we can get him into the middle order, drop Partha Patel, make Josh keep, and get in Devdutt Padikkal. And also, as you said, he would be the right replacement for Aaron Finch too. But it all depends. It's all in the worst case possibilities, I would say. He wouldn't make my 11 upfront. And also, we don't know how he would play spin. Playing spin is one of the most important aspects. That too, playing the IPL in UAE this year, I would say he will mostly be on the bench, and there are less possibilities for him to make it to the field.
As far as I have seen, Philippi is an all-round player. He doesn't struggle against spinners or fast bowlers. He can tonk the spinners as well. He has a very good slog sweep against spinners, as far as what I've observed in BBL. So he's an all-round player. I don't see him getting struggled by any particular type of bowling. But as he said, we cannot relate the quality of BBL and IPL. Quality of spinners in BBL and IPL are contrasting as well. But as far as you can only go by what is in front of you. So Philippi is a very good buy, and if he's a proper replacement for someone like Aaron Finch, or even he can easily fit in the middle order. I don't see him getting trouble by spinners, as I said earlier. So even if there is any injury for Moeen Ali, he can fit in as well. So that they can drop Parthiv Patel and play Padikkal, so that Philippi is a wicket keeper as well. So that will be 2-in-1 thing for RCB. Will benefit in the long run. And Philippi, I see Philippi as a potential who can come into that core of RCB in the longer run. Just like how I see Sherfan Rutherford getting into a core of Mumbai Indians, I see Philippi as a core in the future for RCB.
So, Philippi, do you think he can play a finisher's role for RCB? Because there's nobody there. So, in case he can somehow fit and finish games for them, that could be a very critical role that he can play.
No, that is the hard spot in T20 cricket. There are very less number 6 batsmen going around, and he is relatively new to international cricket. IPL level cricket, which is most competitive league. So it's relatively new. So you cannot directly force him to play and take up the finishing role. The pressure of IPL is something else that no one would have seen unless they have played in it. So and that too at number 6 spot, it's one of the most difficult spots, and that's why when you see options, the teams will go bonkers for players who are playing at number 7 or number 6 kind of spots. Very shortage of there is a massive shortage in that area. So I don't think he can be a finisher. That's why I needed ABD Villiers to play at 5 to hold things together so that he can come and take control of the things directly.
Right.
I think from a finisher's perspective, it would ultimately boil down to ABD, Dubey, and Morris to do that heavy lifting at the rear end. These three that will have to do it.
Yeah, so I think they need to assign roles, and Shivan Dubey needs to be assigned that role, that you would be our finisher for the entire season. Needs to be given the confidence, and he should prepare and practice for that role, because he has that capability of hitting long sixes, and he can be an asset at that position. But he needs to be given that confidence that no matter if you fail, we will continue with you. I think he can
That is
give them that.
the
That is the
entire that is the entire difficulty with RCB
RCB.
and the team manager, that they don't give players sufficient long run. I mean, we have examples of players who have gone out of RCB and done very well across leagues, across teams.
Yeah. So great. So now we come to that last question. Do we see this team going into the playoffs? So Venkat, I think you already mentioned that you believe that they can do it. Uh, any
In the
further
case,
thoughts?
only when they trust their players, back them, and then give them a long run, I see them making the playoffs. So many chops and changes would make it a bit tougher. And more importantly,
You're
it is
asking, Venkat, you're asking too much.
So I have a big question for you guys, that everybody acknowledges the fact, and everybody says that you should not do chop and change. So I think Kohli would know that, right? So why can't he just be patient and give players a longer run?
I think the problem with him is if he takes his own decision, then I don't see him doing any wrong, because he has at least after all won a ICC Under 19 trophy under his name. So he's not that bad a captain, but he gets easily influenced by the people around him. With the for classic example is Ashish Nehra saying to bowl Pawan
Pawan
Nagy to
Nagy,
Hardik
yeah.
Pandya, and even in World Cup semi-final, he was clearly not happy with Hardik Pandya walking in ahead of MS Dhoni, and he was clearly shouting Ravi Shastri for that in dressing room. So those all things are clearly visible. But that's the thing. If he takes his own decision and if he trusts his instincts, I don't see him a bad captain. But he gets easily influenced by people or the management, which also shows his kindness. Like he doesn't have ego kind of thing. But that's not how a captain should work. A captain should take control, full control of his playing 11 and on-field decisions. Whatever he takes, he should be responsible for that. So I think this time you would have learned these lessons, hopefully, which should also help India in the longer run.
Any other thoughts, guys?
And I have just one. I mean, I have one observation is that while obviously there is a significant fielding advantage with Kohli at long off or long on, I personally prefer the captain to should be closer to the action rather than away from it. I mean, that's one observation I have.
it all
Venkat?
depends on the player, I would say. Kohli fielding at the long off. See, if we set the roles for the players and they start knowing what they have to do at each and every situation of the game, I don't see the captain taking all the control over the players. If the role is that if Morris knows I have to bowl this way in this over, I don't mind Kohli being at the long off and Morris executing it over there. So it all depends on how RCB management and Kohli set roles for each players, give them that confidence, utilize them properly. I see this team qualifying for the playoffs.
So playoffs, what are your views, Bala?
Yeah, I see this RCB at least finishing in the third spot in this season's IPL. First two being Chennai, I mean MI and CSK. I see RCB as a third team entering the playoffs, and I hope that they play eliminated this time, because they have all the ingredients covered, and I don't see if they don't make the playoffs, then there is something serious about this team. But this team, this is a proper team. This is a proper T20 team. I don't see anything wrong in that. Openers set and De Villiers in the middle with Kohli at the top, and finishers as Morris and also Saini, who is one of the hard-selling cakes for India right now. So I don't see any, and Chahal, best leg spinner in the world or in the country, whatever. So I don't see them not making playoffs. If they don't make playoffs, then that should be addressed separately. But as of now, this team is a giveaway for me. They will enter playoffs.
Yasir?
Yeah, I mean, this is a far more balanced team than what we have had in previous seasons. So with this team, which has so many options, including spinners, which is what you need possibly in the UAE going forward in the later parts of the tournament, this team should definitely make it to the playoffs and in fact be a serious title contender. I mean, obviously it may not be, it could be 3 or 2, but whatever. But this is a serious team that can take on any team. And I just have a gut feel that this could well be the year for them.
I think that gut feeling is there every year, but Kohli is not able to convert that. So I think I would also agree that now they have all bases covered, and they should be able to perform well. So there are two critical things here. One, they should start well, because if they have a few wins under their belt, Kohli will be far more relaxed and not changing teams, which automatically translates to better things happening in the other games. And second would be that they can have the finishing part is taken care of. So if Shivam Dubey and Morris can win them games, finish games, or give them those a few extra runs in the final death overs, that would be very critical for them. So these are the two things I think would be critical for them. And if they that happens, I think they are sorted.
And also one more point, I mean, I have further to what you have just said, Sunit, is the death bowling. Death bowling again is very, very crucial for this team because at multiple occasions it is the death bowling which has let them down. So with Sani developing, with Morris being available, and maybe other players, this becomes a crucial thing, I think, for them.
And
Yeah.
also, when we talked about the later stages of the tournament, I think Pawan Negi at that time will be an asset. The pitches would have worn out at that time. 3 stadiums for the whole of the tournament. So, in a stadium like Abu Dhabi, where there are large grounds and it is a slow track, I see Pawan Negi coming and tossing up the ball, and he would be among the wickets. He would definitely be the main bowler along with Sahel in the middle overs. I see Pawan Negi making it to the side ahead of someone like Sundar at the later stage of the tournament.
So not even later stages. The one observation that I have about Kohli is that he doesn't like to start with spin up front. So that has been his the reason because of Washington Sundar not playing enough games for RCB, and I think that also needs to change. He needs to trust uh, his spinners and give them overs in the power play, because you see far too often that Chahal comes and bowls the seventh over for RCB. So that also needs to change. He needs to have that flexibility of changing his tactics as the game changes. So that would also be critical, I think.
See, Washington Sundar, I mean, before coming for RCB was doing, I mean, did very well in the power play. And then I think there was one game against KKR that Sunil Narayan went after him. And that changed Kohli's mind. And then there was injury and all that. So, I mean, if Sundar is playing, then he has to definitely ball in the power play. And not just maybe 1 over, 2 or 3 overs, which are run, which control the run as well as possibly take wickets.
Yeah. So others would also agree, right, that Kohli has that issue?
Yes, definitely I would agree.
Yes, even a Kohli fan agreed, so I don't have much to say.
So I think a good discussion, and we hope that I think everybody really hopes that RCB gives other teams a run for their money, because you need that competition, and you don't want uh, a team like RCB, which has Kohli, ABD like stars, to not perform, and especially RCB fans who have been waiting for this team to start performing. I think they should get their dues, and we hope that this team can now reach the playoffs and perform well.
Yes. And
So with
also one
yeah,
more thing to add.
yes,
So
please.
getting in Finch, I think he would take so much pressure off Kohli. Being an international captain, he knows how to handle the side. So he would be a great assistance for Kohli, I would say. And also, getting in Finch would make Kohli bat at his original position, which he bats in international cricket. So getting in Finch is one bonus for RCB, not one just or two bonuses for RCB, I would say. And moreover, from last season, this season they have had a lot of positives, like fixing Moeen Ali's position. Last year he played one game as an opener, one as a finisher, one in the middle. So this year I see them sorting out the positions. So yes, that would be.
And the
And we,
price
This is
for which
RCB
they
this year.
bought and the price for which they bought Finch was an absolute steal. You know, best T20I player. One of the best T20I players is Finch, and they got him for 4.4 crores. Is unbelievable. But that also attributes to other teams doesn't need a foreign opener. But still, that was a very good buy.
yeah.
So that's, I mean, just adding to what Venkat was saying, it is not just that the playing 11 has to be more or less certain. It is the role and positions that a lot of players bat and play. And I mean, Hetmeyer was opening and then he batted in the middle order, then late middle order. Then Moeen Ali was batting top of the order, then middle order, then late middle order. And so it creates uncertainty even in the mind of players or batsmen as to what they have to do.
Yeah, I think if Kohli can just resolve that bit, his team would start performing. So great, guys. I think we'll wrap it up here now. I'd like to thank Venkat for his valuable inputs
Thanks, Venkat. Thank
Yeah,
you.
thanks for
and
having me here.
and we
Pleasure
hope
talking to
your RCB can make it to the playoffs this time
you. Not just
and
make it to the playoffs, but
win it.
win that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that would be great for RCB and RCB fans as well. Bala, thank you to you as well for
Thanks,
coming to
Bala.
our podcast.
Yeah,
And
pleasure. Yeah.
we have another podcast remaining, so I think we'll complete that series, and uh, hopefully people will like that. So thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Okay, bye. See you.
Thank you. Bye.